Welcome to the Wheelbarrow Profits Podcast, where you get multifamily investing made real. Learn from top players in the real estate investment world as they share their secrets with you and discover proven strategies on apartment investing that actually work. To learn more about Wheelbarrow Profits, visit jakeandgino.com, your one-stop shop for everything multifamily. Now to your hosts, Jake and Gino.
Hello, everybody. This is Jake Stenziano, host of the Wheelbarrow Profits Podcast, here with my co-host, the multifamily mentor, the coach, the chef, the father of six, the best-selling author, the G-Daddy, Gino Barbo. Gino, how's it going?
Mr. Stenziano, I'm doing good today. We've got a great guest on. How you doing?
I am always making it happen, big man. So I appreciate you asking. And before we get kicked off, this is where we'd normally plug something to pay the bills. Now for our listeners, we only showcase products and services that we approve are used in our own business. This time we're going to tell you about something of ours, specifically our Wheelbarrow Profits community. G-Dad, take it away.
We've been working hard at growing our community, Jake, of like-minded investors, and the results of our members have been nothing short of incredible. We're looking to grow this amazing group. What we're looking for is those who want to follow the proven framework that we've created, the Wheelbarrow Profits: buy right, manage right, and finance right. We want to leverage our connections, our education, and mentorship as ways to take your business to the next level.
So guys, if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become part of this amazing community, apply to work with us at jakeandgino.com/apply. All right, enough shameless plugging. Let's get back to the show. Today's guest is Vinney Chopra. Vinny oversees the Moneil Investment Group and the Moneil Management Group, in addition to teaching through his academies. He's done over 26 syndications and now is able to raise $5 to $10 million for his offerings in just a few days. His companies have controlled over $172 million in multifamily assets. That's fantastic. So without further ado, Vinny, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Jake. It's a pleasure to be here with you both, Jake and Gino. Hey, wonderful show in USA.
That's right. In USA, baby. Hey, I want to hear about your story. I was reading a little bit about you on the site before we got on, but I want to hear first and foremost, before you tell us about your real estate background, tell us about the nickname. How did you get the nickname Smiles?
That's a good thing. You know, I probably was smiling back in India. I'm from India originally. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I always wanted to come to USA, the land of opportunity. And I came about, many, many moons ago with $7 in my pocket. When I came here, I sold books, educational books and Bibles, door to door, outside Atlanta and Pulaski, Virginia, and all that. That's when my trophies, they started giving me the award plaques and trophies with, take out my middle name, Kumar, out of it, and they put in parentheses, smile.
I love that.
Oh my God. And they say, Vinny, you smile a lot. What are you up to, And that's what happened. This is like, many moons ago. And then I just kind of liked it. I took my Kumar out and Vinney Smile Chopra with my picture on it. And that's how I got it.
That's awesome. So Vinny, you came here, you're a mechanical engineer. Your first job was selling door to door?
Yes, exactly. See, I came here to do my MBA in marketing. I thought engineering and marketing would be excellent combination of the two. My uncle sponsored me, bless his heart. He's a wonderful soul and so forth. He paid for my tuition first semester, but I had to earn after that. With $7 in my pocket, I had to go to work. So I asked my friend at George Washington, hey, what are you doing? He says, well, I sold encyclopedias door to door walking. I said, what? I told my uncle. He says, what are you talking about? Engineers selling books and encyclopedias and Bibles. I said, let me do it. Let me try, So I did it for 3 summers, raised money and paid for my tuition.
So what did you learn from that job?
I learned a lot, to be truthful, the attitude, rejection, perseverance, how to really have a script, which they taught us, how to approach the door, how to not look into the door. When somebody opens the door, you always look perpendicular to it. And then you have the good way to move in. And do you have a place we can sit down kind of thing? So you have suggestive questions. And then you sit down and then you find out more about their children and so forth and what their feelings are about education and then, all that kind of stuff. So an engineer became a salesperson in 3 summers. I can tell you that.
Wow. So that's one of the things that people think of. I can't do this. I wasn't born as a natural salesperson. What do you say to that? How do you dispel that to people?
You know what? Oh my gosh. It's totally a myth. It's a myth. It's a fear, to be truthful. I think if you can really set your mind to, hey, I'm going to learn the script, I'm going to rehearse it in front of the mirror, we'll get better at it. And if we also motivate ourselves to say, hey, there's no turning back. See, that's the other thing. A lot of people always have that back view of what they can be doing. But if you just say, that's shut the door right there, and I'm going to move forward. If it's fire, I'm going to cross the fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bridge. If it's a mountain, I'm going to go around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I learned, really, to be truthful. And I closed my engineering, 5 years of training that I did in India, and I worked for a very large corporation, Reliance Group, back then, Larsen Toubro, still in heavy fabrication, master planning. That was my dream when I was growing up, by the way, to be an engineer. I put it in a box, and I just became consultant, marketing consultant, motivational speaker, all my life. Stayed with one company for 40 years. Oh my God.
So, Vinny, what was your big why when you came over here to America? What did you want to accomplish? What did you want to get into? What were your dreams?
The dreams were, I think I've been a goal setter all my life. Even my parents tell me at the junior high school, I was a topper, very studious boy. I always wanted to do good in life. We grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 of us. We didn't have much and so forth. So I always had a vision to really do well for my family, for my sisters, for my parents, and the only way I could do that would be to come out to a land of opportunity. And actually, to be truthful, every dime I saved after paying the rent and eating, I would send back home every month.
Wow. What those skills that you learned those 3 summers, how did that translate into the real estate business?
It really did give me a kickstart, I would say, to see that, in life, you have to be totally focused on the client. You have to really focus with the person you're talking to always and talk about what's going to benefit them, not who you are. Don't tell your story, song and dance, but you should tell them and show them in proof, why you are interested in them. And then bring the win-win situation, because then only they will be able to attract to you. And that's why I became a consultant, fundraising consultant, motivational speaker, all that, which really helped me to grow my career. And then I reached all the different awards and Hall of Fame and everything. I was an early stockholder in that company, very nice company out of, right there, Tennessee. And then my $1 stock became $67. We started with only like 1 company, 2 companies actually. By the time I left them, we had 14 companies. And we sold 1 insurance company. From zero, we started for $241 million.
Wow, that's awesome. How does real estate fit into this thing? When was your first real estate adventure, or when did you get, when did you hear the word real estate into your life? When did it come into your life?
That's about 38 years back. 38
Wow.
years back. We got married. We have been married 38 years. And we moved to California. Our president met me at 11:45 at night. Can you believe it? I flew into some place, I don't remember where. And they said, Mr. So-and-so wants to meet you. I said, wow, am I okay? Am I going to be fired this late in the night? He wants to meet me, And he says, Vinny, we have looked at several consultants and you've done really well. We want to open the West Coast, California. We want to see if you would like to go there. And I had just gotten married, and we had cockroaches and, all these things in our apartment. I remember I told my wife, we're going to be moving. She said, great. Get out of this mess over here. So then they flew us to California. And fortunately, that night, it was a big map. I still remember that. And, my president was on that side, and San Francisco was on my side. So I said, oh, California, where is California? I didn't know, So we are over here in Tennessee, right? Sitting there somewhere. And then I said, oh, there are 3 airports right here: Oakland, San Francisco, and San Jose. I said, since I'll be moving and flying to the head office and this and that, let's go there. And that's how it happened. So I came out to the West Coast. That's when we really caught the bug of real estate. That was the time we bought our first home, and then we kept on buying more real estate because my friends really owned some real estate, and in our gatherings, we'll talk about real estate quite a bit. That's how. So we started to buy single family homes over 30 years. We kept on saving money, buying them in Arizona, in California, in the Central Valley, down south, in Tennessee, Georgia. We bought it over there all the way. Oh my gosh, I'm missing some places. Yeah, and Texas. We started buying there too. Yeah.
So how did you get into it? How did you start buying? Did you have any experience? Did you have mentors? How did you start your journey?
Back then, I would say I'm talking like 1982, 83, right? I started reading about it. There were not too many podcasts at that time, to be truthful. There were not too much out there. And I think my friend told me about lease option to buy. I kind of grabbed that idea. I said, wow, let's do it. So I got in touch with a broker in Arizona who kind of shared with me on the phone what it is. Then my wife and I flew there. We bought 2 single family homes that day. And then I bought the third one on the internet with him again, like about a few months later. That's how I kept on buying.
So when was your first multifamily deal?
Oh my gosh. Now, wait a minute. I forgot to tell you, the one we bought over here, I had invested in a 165 unit apartment building as a limited partner, but the general partners were not really good. So that really tells me to really be aligned, because that's what my profession is now as a syndicator. But they were really rip-off people, that kind of taught me a lesson. But then we bought for $11,500 down, $6,500 3-bedroom house in the Central Valley. It went $315,000.
Wow.
61 to 315. Then we took out 275 out, refinanced at 3%, and we kept it for 28 years. We just sold it last year.
Nice.
No, let's talk about multifamily. I became a broker in 2004. My wife said, Vinny, you know so much about it. And she was also agent with California Realty, for a couple of years. She says, you should go for broker license. And I just got the course. I got my skill set and everything and videos and all that. I crashed it and passed it in just 3 months.
Wow.
And I've been a broker ever since. But then I said, what should I do with the broker? We thought we'll open up a shop, to be truthful. We had a logo, we had stationery design, we had website, we had, the license we have to get in, to have a thing. And then we just pulled the plug. We said, we're not going to do it. We don't want to take the evenings and the weekends and all that stuff. Then I started looking into real estate, commercial. I said, we're going to do commercial, office space, hospitality. I looked all over. Multifamily caught my attention in 2004 and 5.
Why?
So that's 13 years back. 13 years back.
Why did it connect? Why did it catch your attention?
I'm a logical person, very much logical person as an engineer. So when I started reading about, multifamily, where we could buy lots of houses in one place, with the fewer roofs, and you can, have vacancy factor not really affect you. If you have 20 units or whatever, and 2 people leave, who cares, right? Well, you care, but you want to get new ones, but you got 18 who is going to pay the mortgage. So logically, I just love that concept that I'm not tied to, having these vacancies, which my properties, by the way, we had a lot of single family homes, and management companies were managing them. We didn't want to get to the toilet trash and all that stuff, right? Tenants. We didn't want to. We never did that. But I did take care of the contractors. I would send my contractors in even Arizona, in Tennessee, and wherever, and Texas. I'll have my list of contractors. I didn't want my property management companies to put 30%, on top of it.
Yes.
And things like that.
Yes.
that's when I caught the bug. And then somebody told me about David Lindahl, one of my friends from Chicago, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I said, David Lindahl, let me do Google. I'm a researcher. I mean, I just go to the nth degree to find out everything about the person I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did I said, okay, home study. He said, there's something called home study or something. I Googled it. I found $300 somebody was selling on an eBay.
Wow, that's a great price. Yeah,
I know. Excellent. And I put it in the car. I listened to it for 6 months. I must have listened to it 100 times, those CDs,
Mm-hmm.
And I met Dave Lindahl in 2008. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
About 3 years later, I knew about everything about multifamily. So I learned it through CDs, through reading books and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I paid $30,000 to really get trained on the real boot camps and all that.
So you think education is very, very important, in other words?
It's very important, Gino. Oh my gosh. A lot of people say, I want to get free stuff here, free stuff there. You can, but you get so distracted with different kind of opinions and things. And then it's paralysis and fear.
Yes.
I think it's good to have a great mentor and coach and, get a good program.
So, Vinny, this question is for all the engineers out there, because I know a lot of engineers, a lot of guys who are really analytical. How do you get over that fear of overanalyzing a deal to death, looking at the numbers and then analyzing again, and that paralysis analysis? How did you overcome that?
That's a good point. That is something in my mind. I just come to the decision very fast. In other words, like logical mind, if somebody's an engineer, I'm talking to you, just do research one time, do the analysis, look at it, look at the safety factor, and that's it. Make a decision. Take massive action. I mean, that's the main motto in life, is to not worry about whether, I think Tom Hopkins said that. He came to our meeting, our leadership seminar in the 80s, I think, or 90s in Clearwater, Florida, right there, nearby you, by the way.
Yes.
15. Yeah, Clearwater. And he says, you know what? If you are only right 51% of the time in your life, you'll do well.
Wow.
A lot of time we want to be 90% correct. And many times we are. So let's not worry about the 10%. That's going to be a failure rate. It's with the failure we get into the success.
Wow.
And I believe in that.
Yeah, because we come up against a lot of guys who just analyze whether it's our program or analyze a deal and then go back. The numbers are too good. So your thing is just take massive action and just go right ahead.
Got to decide. Decision. Never procrastinate. I mean, you want to really get into it. The opportunity knocks only one time. I mean, every so often. Yeah. And I always think success is around the corner. Unless you turn the corner, you'll never reach success. So you got to always have that mindset. I want to be positive. I want to work hard and just take that step. And so what if it's wrong step? Let's back off. Like I took this luxury course, $15,000 or $10,000. I think it was $5,000 just the ticket. And then I went to Vancouver and I came back home. I told my wife, I just wasted 4 days at Hyatt Regency because this $15,000, I'm not going to look back at it. Let's just crush it. I'm not going to do it.
That's
it's just
great.
an option thing with luxury homes or whatever.
So your first syndication, let's talk about that. What were your fears about your first syndication? Your raising of the money, the deal itself. Can we go over that real quick?
Oh, totally. Actually, I started raising in the crash at, 2007, 8. I had 1,150,000, something like that. The market dropped 827 points. I still remember.
Yeah.
I talked to my investors on Monday morning. I had a contract sitting on my table to sign, right? Because I wanted to really be sure that I could raise the money. So I raised the money without even really showing them the product. And I did tell them, hey, these are some things we are underwriting, blah, blah, blah. But my 1 million went to 50% on Monday morning. We did not sign the contract. It took me about 9 months after that through Dallas. Oh my gosh, we were going through Dallas like crazy. All these different towns over there. We even had a contract where it was a reposition deal sitting on my desk. They even sent us the whole renovation schedule, and we asked the REO bank to give us the loan. Give us the loan and pay for the closing costs too. And they agreed to everything. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
So anyway, we bought 14 units, first one, and then 109 units that Friday. But we were working on both of them simultaneously.
And what market? This is in Dallas?
This is in actually Odessa, Texas.
Odessa,
Texas. Because what we found when I learned the emerging markets, and that's what my specialty is, to really go and do ton of information, screening and look at graphs as an engineer and make in mind, okay, this is the place I'm going to buy 6, 7 apartment buildings for economies of scale and all that right there. So when the market was crashing in 2007 and 8, Odessa and Midland were on the top with the job, employment rate. Yeah, employment rate. The unemployment.
They were starting to pull out of the recession quicker. Yeah.
Exactly. With the oil, and that's when we bought 7 assets like this.
Wow.
Then we moved to Austin area, then San Antonio, then Houston, all like that.
Wow. So how did you, these are all syndicated deals? This is all money you're raising for each deal?
The money. Every single one, from zero investor sitting in the living room asking me, Vinny, how many you've done? I said 0. Are you going to move to Texas? No. Have you qualified for the loan? No. Do you have any experience? No. So just be open and frank, but I think just the genuineness and just kind of tell them why multifamily. I put a little 5 slide, I remember, I said, let me show you why multifamily, all the reasons, and they said, okay, I believe in you. I'll give you $50,000.
It's those Bible sales right there coming to fruition, right?
Wow. So what do you look for in a market now and when you're going into a new market?
Totally. Gino, the key thing is jobs, jobs, and jobs. I mean, that's my mantra of life in the multifamily, and that's it should be for syndicators, because you are really buying the property today. You've got to look at what it will be in 5 years and 10 years, because when you sell it in 3 to 5 or 7 years, you got to leave some meat on the bone for the buyer too, and they're going to then make money after you also. Like my projection, one property I just bought 3.550, I'm selling it for 8.750 in just 3 years. And I know the projection my broker gave me, it will be worth 13 million.
Wow.
Even after this. So cash on cash is king.
Okay. So what is your strategy when you're buying these properties? Your strategy is buy and hold, sell?
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. We do buy and we hold for at least 3 years, so that we can add value, do the love system. We bring dog parks, we do media centers, we do, athletic things if you need to. We want to, make the community better and nicer, maybe even put gates, make it a gated community, residence centers, swimming pool, all these different things, right? And interior renovation, lightly. I don't do heavy stuff. I do lightly, and then as the expiration of the leases happen, I increase the rents because I buy the product. Usually I've been able to buy pocket listings. I call it napkin listing in my new book coming up, because a lot of these brokers in the Houston area never had a listing, but they kept on giving me the same deal. 5 brokers will give me the same deal, by the way. Nobody had a listing. But then I generated my own listings over there because there was no product in the county where I did my research that billions of dollars will be spent. And that's where I bought 10 assets in that county. And now I'm selling after 4 years, 3 to 4 years. I've got 5 of my, 10 assets on sale, and I'm just crushing it. And then I moved to Atlanta now. I did a lot of research, and I just bought there very good, about $38,000 a door and $64,000 a door in 9 months, 10 months. One of my property went up by 2.5 million. 2.5 million. I just paid 12 million for it. Wow. And then another one I paid $37,800 $600 per door. Across the street from me, just sold for $53,000 a door. $53,000 a door.
So Jake and I are always getting this question. How do you find the deals? How do you get those napkin listings?
I mean, it's grinding. It's very grinding. You got to really say, I'm going to really get to some of the brokers, the good ones. I call the daddies, the big daddies, like big Gino daddy, right? I got to put that plug in there, right? So I go to the big cheeses. Like I just went for 4 days into Atlanta. And I went to Marcus and Millie Chap, ARA, Cushman, all that, the Brown Realties, everybody. I just met them one after the other, sold myself and my story, and showed them why I'm so bullish on Atlanta. A lot of them didn't even have the reports that I had, by the way. I put them in Dropbox.
They're cheap. They're not willing to spend the money, Vinny. That's it.
But that was really great, And then they said, Vinny, you are genuine. I like you. All right, blah, blah, blah. So then, like in 4 months, I got 92 deals, 92. We underwrote 45. I did best and final on 4, lost all of them. I came number 2. Out of 13 bidders, I came in the best and final of 5. Then I lost it at number 2. I didn't give up. I never give up. That's the strategy. And then here we were in Hawaii in the December of 2016. My broker texts me, Vinny, $40,000 a door. This, the owner is a multi-millionaire from New Jersey. He never comes to this, Atlanta. Do you want it? I said, yes, I want it. Without seeing the property, 267 units. We got under contract. I had due diligence team show up there before even I got there to see the building.
That's great. Why Atlanta? What are you attracting about Atlanta? What's the Atlanta market telling you?
Atlanta market, I like the tech. They're really going into, they're making more movie industries, all these things. Amazon, we don't know where these 50,000 jobs are going to come. They've been just playing with all the cities and everything. But Amazon has a very big hub, technical hub there. And they also opened a very big, warehouse very next to my second property I bought, all townhouses that I bought in 1 hour. Same broker. This is amazing. I mean, they got me for 267, right? Not to muddy it up. They let me come there. And then they say, Vinny, you have 10 minutes? I said, sure, I do. I'm not going to go nowhere. I'm in Atlanta standing in the parking lot, right? So he said, sit in the truck. 10 minutes later, he takes me to this beautiful property and he shows me the operating memorandum, 70 pages long, that they spent 3 months to make it.
Wow.
They said, Vinny, we were going to email blast it tonight to all our investor base in USA. How do you like the property? I said, don't email blast. I'll buy it tomorrow. Literally. Wow. I said, I'm going to buy it and I have a contract, not even LOI. Rest is history. It's 98% occupied and I bought it for $12 million, 191 units, all brick, 21 acres of land. Just beautiful community. And then it's gone in value by 2.5 million.
Wow. So Vinny, how do you start building your teams once you go into a market?
Very strong thing. I'm so glad you're saying that. We made a decision. We hired one very reputable company from Dallas. I don't want to say their name. Very good people. And they tried to manage our assets. But we were finding we were there at the property more than they were. And we had vested interest in them. They were, I think they were managing 23,000 units at that time. We wanted to always think big. So then we started our own company. I got right-hand person from Dave Lindahl to come down to San Antonio and start our brand new company in management. So I crushed it with 35,000 I paid or whatever I paid. In 3 months, we had property management company ready to go. Okay. So that's what we've done with my new companies. I have 4 companies right now, but the Moneil Management Group, we started brand new in Houston area. And now we are starting same brand new in Atlanta area, then North Carolina, then Chattanooga, wherever we go, or Dallas. There's some properties we are looking at over there. Also, even the market is hot, product is there, if you find it. Yeah. So that way, we have 67 people now full-time in my company in just 3 years.
Wow. So it's vertical integration to the max, huh, Jake? That is
Love it.
excellent.
You got it, Jake. I know you also manage. That's the way to do it. Please never deviate from it, And the key thing is I have very good job ads that I put together, and then I can get 50, 60 resumes from Craigslist with property management, community managers with 15 years of experience or 25 years of experience. I really go for experience because in the local market, if they have done well and they've done really well, I can pay them good and they will really bring my community because they are the, face of Vinney Chopra and Moneil, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Before we get into the short answer question, my last question to you would be is how do you tell the person trying to get a multifamily, what should they do? What are their steps to get into this business?
Actually, as a matter of fact, I have the book coming and also my academy, which is spinning of 5 plates. I'm an engineer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was getting overwhelmed so much when I got to know about this whole business. I said, let's make it simple. Let's make it simple, Vinod. Let's make it simple. So I have 5 plates. I say the first one, form right teams, the attorneys, your partner, the brokers and everybody. Then investor is my second plate. Investor list and also relationships, how to build it, how to really crush it with the, on Facebook and other places, and how to go to RIA meetings, have an elevator pitch, things like that. Number 3 is the underwriting and analysis. That's huge. You got to really be starting to do lots of practice on comprehensive, underwriting tool that I've developed. I got one sheet from my mentor, but then I added lots of worksheets. And because I wanted to make it simple, I'm a systems guy. That's who I am. I like to keep it simple, stupid, KISS system, right? Keep it simple, stupid. And also formulate systems so that it can be duplicated again and again. Then my 4th plate is loan qualification. That's a big part of it, to be able to have the net worth, get a partner if you want to scale up faster, things like that, or loan sponsor, because the loan amount has to be lower than your net worth, things like that. And then my 5th plate is the property management part of it, asset takeover. So that's a really simple way to understand the whole business. And then it's not rocket science. The biggest thing I would love to tell your audience is many of people feel it's a very big giant, like a gorilla. It's not. Once we find these systems and work on them consistently, you got to formulate daily plan, right? And weekly plan to meet and go to RIA meeting or go to these people, go to family, have the elevator pitch, and then you write it down and then keep on adding to the list and all that, and underwrite. Syndication is just finding a great deal and finding great investors and them right in the middle, put it together. And the exciting part is that you earn so much money. My gosh, I charge 4% acquisition fee, and nobody has asked me why do you charge that? I work very hard. So when I did $23 million deal, I got paid $900,000 that day, at the closing. So that's exciting per day, That
is awesome. That's crushing it, Jake, right?
Well, listen, I think you just introduced my brother from another mother, because I started taking some notes. And Vinny, this is gonna creep you out a little bit, but check this out. Yeah. These are the connections we have. You got Tennessee. You got commission sales when starting out in college. I did a commission sales at Radio Shack, okay?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Went and got the MBA, got into multifamily investing, also started my own management company because I wanted that control. And you're a systems freak like me. I'm all about the systems. You got to put the systems in place. You like the framework. So, I think there's a lot of similarities, and I applaud what you're doing.
Hey, let's claim we are brothers. Let's get together.
That's it, man. That's
we are getting together. I'm coming to the summit that Dylan is putting together.
That's right.
Dylan is awesome. I'm so glad he's coming, to also work for you and me, and it's going to be exciting. That's awesome. That's great.
So there's some really cool. I was just taking notes. I'm like, man, this is like creepy, the similarities here, right? So, so here's what I want to get even further into your head. Now, one of my most important things, and I've just got ruthless discipline when it comes to, what I'm doing in the morning. I'm studying, something every morning. I'm meditating every morning. I'm making sure that my day is lined out. I'm prepared. you know, getting on there, doing a little bit of social media blasts. I just have this routine and bang, 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 it gets hit every morning. What habits does Vinny do every morning that makes him successful?
You know, I'm so glad you asked me that. I mean, you know, the key part is at this tender age of 66, I'll be 66, you know, this year, I just like to take care of my body. So Miracle Morning, that book everybody has read. I hope everybody gets a copy of it. I'm not getting any money from them, but, you know, he's in Go Abundance. Gino is also a member of it, and I'm also. And I think it's so great that you can get up in the morning and take that yoga class or walk. I walk 1 hour, 7 to 8 religiously, cold or shine, 26 degrees here in the morning when it was in the cold months to 76 what it'll be here in San Francisco. And the other thing is to pay gratitude. You got to pay gratitude to the people who brought you in this world, your ancestors, your parents, your mother, everybody, people that you work with who have really made you. Who I am today is not me alone. It's everybody, my team, my mom, my wife, you know, my family, my clients, my, you know, all the employees in our companies, everybody, because, you know, we got to pay gratitude and then look for the today that you're going to really make it happen today. You're going to be.
Oh, we got MIH in the house, Gino. He's making it happen over here. That's my slogan right there.
You know, you got to have that because, and then plan. And the thing is, yeah, oh, look at that. Yeah, there we go. It happened. I love it. I love it. You know, it's amazing. But the thing is, it's all in the attitude. I mean, there are a lot of people, they are ready to retire at the age of 50 or 55. They've crushed it. But, you know, this life is only good if we are significant. We got to leave some significant things in our life, some legacy. And that's what I'm really excited about. My vision board now for next 25 years, when I'm 90, I want to be straight without a cane. That's my really.
With the smile on your face still, though, right?
Thank you. Yeah. You know, my grandpa drove a car in Delhi since until 92 or 93. He never used a cane. So I have that picture in my mind. And I eat right, and I, you know, all those things. And but in the morning, it's all. I get up. When I had a W-2 job, I would get up at 7 o'clock. Gino, right, Jake? I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm up and about. My office is in the home, and just come out here and crush it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So when you were starting out, is there anything that you would have done differently? Because a lot of folks get on these shows and they're getting started and they may be syndicating right from the jump like you did. What is a tip that you can give them? Said, you know, if once starting out, I might have done this a little bit differently so we can propel people's futures.
Totally. You know, big thing is that please don't get 8 people on your team like I did. We went to some boot camp and they said, yeah, we want to join you. We want to join you. Okay, come on in. You know, and here for about a year and a half, we spent $160,000 taking them to boot camps, and we were paying for the training and everything. We didn't have any money. We loaned the money. But, you know, never, ever, ever. You might need only 2 people to run the company. That's it. Get the person who is trustworthy, who you can really feel that they have the same energy as you, you know, and have the desire to propel your business. That'll be one thing. Secondly, just persevere. Have that rad attitude. I mean, you know, you got to really have that positive attitude and build on each other. There were so many times we would have given up, really, because 9 months it took us to get our first 14 units, 9 months. But we had to crush it. We had to do so many, you know, meetings and other stuff. And, you know, we didn't know much about it. We went through coaching. We did. That's what I got. And then our coach at the end said, Vinny, you could teach me now. You know, so that's the time to let them go, right? But it's worth it. I think I'm making millions now because of that $160,000 that we spent, to be truthful.
Everything that you just said there, I've experienced, and I completely agree with it. When we started out, it took us 18 months to get our first deal. The best thing that we did is we did not quit. And I want to say, guys, it's not rocket science. You know, it's just not. It's just you figure it out. You create the framework and you follow the yellow brick road and you persevere and you hang tough. If you don't, you're going to quit after 2 months, and then Vinny is going to come by your deal, or Gino's going to come by your deal, right? So you got to hang tough. I think that's huge, and I always say that. So totally agree with that.
Totally.
I love to ask guys, best value add strategy that you're implementing right now. A lot of guys like dog parks. A lot of guys like the little fences around the garden units, trash valet. What's your go-to right now to increase value?
I'm looking forward to, again, media centers are huge. Of course, if you have tennis courts, I like to, make them really nice and pretty. The swimming pools, I like to bring really great value. And then if there is an exercise room or not, if there is a space, I like to bring cutting edge machines. I know I heard a concept about dog wash. That's a new one. Like a car wash.
I've seen it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I've seen it.
And you charge $5 and it's a money maker for you, and you can bring the community higher. I think the biggest thing I like is to do community events every month on the month and have a lot of petty cash we give to our community managers to take special birthdays and have luncheons and give it to the residents, some barbecues, and just to make a great feeling of community. That's the big thing, to make it really happen for them and they feel good. And we do $200 bonus, the referral bonus. We are really big in marketing our communities. We have 12 in my new company that we have purchased in just 3 years. So we have all these beautiful graphics and posters and all. And then in our websites also, we do some social media marketing, and we give, even if somebody's got, a 10 resident in Houston area and they know somebody in Atlanta, we'll still pay them $200 referral fee, things like that.
Like the Keller Williams he's got the Vinny market now, just like Keller did. That's beautiful. So I got a two-part question here. One, I want to hear about a favorite book of yours that you want to recommend, and the second part is I want to hear, you've referenced a few times that you got a new book coming out, so I want to hear about that too. So first tee us up with something that added value to your life, and then let's hear about what you have going on.
Oh my gosh, I think I bought 1,000 books. I was telling Dylan, I gave away 500 to the library because I just had so many. Sometimes I never had money, right? But I always bought the books and spent maybe $500 on videotapes and audio tapes and cutting edge, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. I mean, everybody. I always fed my mind without podcasts, with having this, I call it as automobile university. When I'm driving out, let's not worry about these talk shows and the negative stuff and all that, but listen and put your mind right, And then there are so many books. I would say Eckhart Tolle's book has really meant a lot to me. It's a power of now. Now. That's how I live my life. It's now, this moment, because 30 seconds back, the moment I had, if I didn't do anything, it's gone. I cannot change it, but I can change the next 30 seconds. And that's how I live by. I live into today, and that's the only way to live. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about 10 months from now, because 87% of the things you think and fear never happen. Maybe 97%, somebody told me, I believe in today and action and feel good about it. And at the end of the day, sleep great and then reward yourself. I really believe in rewarding yourself. But there are lots of books. I'm sorry. I wish I had more in my mind. Of course, Robert.
Vinny, let me jump in for a second. I can see why you fit in. And I'm not in the go abundance like you guys, but I know they talk about abundance versus scarcity mentality. And it seems like you're really living that. So that's awesome. So transition now. Tell us about what you got going on. You said you have a book coming out, right? Tell us about that.
Yes, my book is about ready. I just want to do it on syndication. That's the world I've lived in. I feel there are not too many books and things where people can get a very straight path. And I'll be providing all my templates, all my different things. I've crushed it in last 10 years. I'll be giving in my academy, of course. The book would be a great segue into the academy. I'll be giving a lot of things free in the book also, which is, that's how I want to do. My passion is to really be all across the world, in all different, in India, in China, in all Japan, all that, so that my book can be translated and my video, my audio, and my academy can be translated,
So is it going to be Vinny International or is it going to be Moneil International? That's the question right now.
Oh, that's a good point, I would say Moneil because I want to leave the legacy. Moneil is our kids' name, Monica and Neil. We have 2 children, so we combined them together into Moneil.
Nice.
That's how it became. So we want to leave behind a small legacy when we die, heavenly, hopefully up there, you know.
That's great.
So we got that going on. You got the education out there. What's the best place for people to go to find out more and get a hold of you?
Sure. You know, my website is VinneyChopra.com. That's VINNEY. I put an E in there and a Y. That's the only difference. Some people spell it as VINNI, but I just love elephants. So I put E in there. You know, I'm a logical person, right? So VINNEY Chopra.com. And they could actually even just text the word syndication to 474747. And we'll get back to them and everything, my team and so forth. We'll give them a lot of free things, a lot of my game plan, my PowerPoints, how to crush it, my elevator pitch. I mean, whatever they want, you know. I don't want them to spend a dime.
So let's give the Atlanta event some love. I know Dylan's going to appreciate this. But
Yes.
guys, what are the dates on that? Dylan's right there. What are the dates?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's crush it together. I love it. Dylan is here.
I'll jump in here.
So what do we got going on? Tell people how amazing this event's going to be. Give us the dates, and then we know tickets are going up too, so we got to buy now. So let's hit it.
Tickets are always going up, of course, right?
Well, you got Dylan involved, man. You gotta get it cranking here.
So in July, third weekend of July 21st and 22nd, we're having a 2-day summit event that is sponsored by our meetup group in Atlanta Multifamily Summit, where we're going to have Vinny speaking along with Jake and Gino and a lot of other professionals in the multifamily field.
Yeah.
Altogether, well over $500 million in total acquisitions speaking on stage there for 2 days. So we're going to have a chance to come on out. Tickets, I believe, are about $250, and if you use the promo code Moneil, there's MONEIL or Wheelbarrow, either promo code, whichever is easier to remember. You can get 25% off for the summit. But again, go to visit Atlanta Multifamily Summit.com to read more about the speakers and the event in itself. So hope to see you out there.
And these are guys that are doing it, that have management like Vinny, that have, boots on the ground in the trenches, making it happen. This is not, fly by night. This is years of, frameworks and, time spent doing it. So if you guys really want to learn how it's done, this is the place to be. So.
Thank you so much. I just want to put a plug for, Dylan.
Appreciate that.
Well, how much he's really meant to me, and also how tremendously at his tender age of very young age, I don't know if you want to tell them, he's been crushing it and done, great incomes a lot of people can think of at that level. And I'm so proud of he's a doer, action getter, and all that. So he's really an amazing person. And Elijah, my buddy over here, who is just a super soul from Sacramento, and who actually put me on social media. I was just doing my own stuff. About me. He says, Vinny, I'm going to put you on social media. I didn't know what social media was. About a year back. Can you believe it? Now Vinny is all over the place. You Google me in, just say Vinny Chopra. 9 pages come out, I think, in Google. And just me.
Vinny, so how old are you?
66 strong.
66. No, I'm 36. And how long have you been on Facebook for? No. How long, Vinny?
1 year, maybe 1 year.
No. This is how bad I am with this. I just got on Facebook last month, my friend. You were better. Listen, you were better than me. Okay. So, Gino, took me in, kicking and screaming, but I got there. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Uh-huh.
A minute.
That's great.
Oh my God. Can I say something else about virtual assistants? I will hope that lots of your audience is able to really crush it with virtual assistants. You will see me a lot more on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and all over the place, because I hired a company in Philippines. I would love to, if anybody wants to ask me, they are the best people. I pay only $7 an hour. I pay $28 a day, only for half a day, and she's killing it. I mean, they got 55 virtual assistants in that office, and it's amazing. It's just great. And this way I can automate it and leave it. That's it,
That's awesome.
Gino, what else you got, my friend?
Well, I'm glad we did the podcast for two reasons. Number one, Vinny's story is very similar to my dad. I think my dad came here with $10 in his pocket. So he beat you by $3, I think. Number two, I think when somebody comes to me and says, the market stinks, it's not the right time, I don't have enough money, I'm going to let them listen to this podcast because he started back in 2008 when the economy stunk. He I guess the language barrier or the different cultural barriers can come into play in a lot of these things. The inability to have no credibility, right, Jake? He didn't have any deals. He started raising money from day one. All shatters all of those beliefs. There's so many, I guess, limiting beliefs and obstacles when people get into multifamily. And I'm just going to let them listen to this podcast and say, these are all your limiting beliefs. We shattered everything within an hour. Now it's up to you to make it happen. And I want everybody on the podcast to listen to Vinny's words, because words mean something. Everything is positive. It's all make it happen. It's all crushing it. I feel great. I love my job. I love what I'm doing. I bet you he loved selling Bibles door to door and education books, right? So that's how you have to pursue life, right? I mean, that's what people aren't doing. They're not engaged. Be happy with your moment it is. The thing about gratitude, I think that's amazing. I'm trying to do that every day. I'm trying to wake up and try to write down what I'm grateful for. I have so much to be grateful for. I could spend the whole day writing it down, but at least acknowledge that. It's important you acknowledge that. So, Jake, I could keep going on about the podcast. I learned a lot about Vinny, learned a lot about his model, very similar to ours. And I'm just glad that he took the time to get on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vinny, for your time.
Much. From the bottom of my heart, I want to really thank you both. And I would love to come back if you invite me again. And, it's always a pleasure. It was such a great...
The door is always open after this one for Vinny Chopra, my friend. So.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.
See you at the event, guys.
Thank you so much. Let's crush it.
We trust that you enjoy the Wheelbarrow Profits podcast. Visit jakeandgino.com, your one-stop shop for everything multifamily. See you next time when Jake and Gino share more of their investing secrets with you.